It's hard for me to laugh and eat ice cream at the same time here.
You're supposed to snarf it.
No, that's bad. Ow, ice cream headache
Guys,
already. Hey everybody, and welcome to From My Mother's Basement, the show that celebrates being a geek. I'm Jason.
And I am Michael.
And Michael, what have you been up to this past week? You definitely sound a hell of a lot better than last week.
I'm feeling a hell of a lot better. I took the last of my anti-plague medications on Friday. But now I got eardrops. So
you don't get any break, do you?
No break for me. I have to put these stupid drops in my ear 4 times a day, and I hate it. But other than that, the week's been pretty good. Just not a lot going on, though.
It's. I would say we can't
It's
be
been a mellow week.
Yeah, we can't be busy every single week. I mean, you start getting crazy with that. So, I mean, like me to say just earlier today, I thought, I haven't used the 3-month Netflix code that I got when I bought my Chromecast all those months ago.
I wonder if it's still good.
Yeah, so I logged onto the website and, okay, I have my old account. Let me put it on there. You still owe us $8. Okay, I'm creating a new account. Create a new account. Hey, now I have 3 months. So what should I watch? Well, I pretty much only watch anime, and the few things that I watch on
everything anime on freaking Netflix is dubbed.
Actually, no. I came
not to knock, our friends in the industry, but
that's actually it's actually incorrect, because the first thing I popped up was, okay, let me search anime. Okay, here's the division. Oh, hey, they have Bubblegum Crisis Tokyo 2040. Sure, I'll pop in the first episode, and it's in Japanese, and I went, yes!
Really?
Yes.
Holy schmoly.
So
that's kind of cool.
But I was trying to think, what other stuff I could watch on it. So I'm going to need suggestions from you all. You send me on Facebook and Twitter, I'm sure. But my friend Ruben, HPL in the chat, kept on telling me I need to check out Arrow. I've yet to watch a single episode. So I search online like, oh, it has like the first 3 seasons on Netflix. So guess what I'm going to be watching this week?
You're going to be watching Captain Jack as a bad guy.
Yes, should be good times. But that's pretty much all my...
Speaking of Captain Jack.
Yes.
You sent me something this week.
Ooh.
That surprised me, and you might want to cue it up and show it.
Which one? What am I talking about? I've sent a lot of things.
Doctor Who thing you sent me.
Oh, yes.
Because I remembered who that actor was. He's a former Doctor. He was the Doctor in the movie.
Yeah, he's the 8th Doctor.
I had completely forgotten who the hell he was. So that cements him as the one between him and Eggleston.
Mm-hmm. What we're talking about is there was a video that was posted online by the BBC last week to help.
It's sort of like a mini webisode.
Yeah, a mini-sode for the upcoming Day of the Doctor. So this mini-sode was called Night of the Doctor. And when you watch it, it's like, okay, it's the Doctor. I've never seen this Doctor before. Wait a minute. Wasn't he the Doctor from the bad...
Yeah, well, he changed his hair, because in the bad movie, he had the curly red fucked up hair.
Mm-hmm. But and what we're talking about, it's the 8th Doctor. There was a Doctor Who movie in 95, 96?
Yeah, mid-90s.
Something like that. And
cue it up.
Okay, I'm bringing it up. I'm this is what I'm talking about is filling.
So basically what this thing does is it cements the legitimacy of the John Hurt Doctor. Because everybody was like, what the frick is the John Hurt Doctor? What's going on here? Blah, 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 blah. Well, this kind of... It's not retcon, because they never... It's retcon if they go back and change it.
Mm-hmm.
But they're not changing Jack, because we never knew what happened between Dr. 8 and Eggleston.
Yep.
So... that's fair territory. Until now.
Enjoy. Tune in next week as the Doctor...
Oh, what? You're not going to run the whole thing? Come on!
It's 7 minutes long. People can watch online itself.
Okay, go find it. It's really cool.
I'll post it in the chat as well.
You are... Man, talk about serious coitus interruptus. Give people Dr. Blue Balls.
That's what I do.
Blue box, blue balls. There you go. Okay, moving forward.
Yeah, cannot wait for it. There's actually...
Once I figured out who it was, I was actually really happy to see him again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was like, okay, that kind of pulls in into canon. But some of the diehard Whovians have already claimed that this kind of disrupts the canon that was in the radio dramas in the late 90s. But honestly, I'm going to look at it as those are radio dramas. This is the TV series. Leave it at that and move on.
Yeah, no kidding.
So,
The radio play of Star Wars was different from the movie. What's your freaking point?
the Star Wars. I want to read the comic.
I have.
I know you have it.
Well, no, I don't know if I have the movie comic. I have the book for Empire, and I've got Legacy, which has Darth Talon in it. Which Darth Talon is just awesome.
That's very true.
Let us from that to we'll come back to Star Wars in a minute.
Yeah.
Let's first go to Warner Brothers, shall we?
Yes, because we have some kind of idea what to expect from the upcoming Superman movie, which we all know it as Batman versus Superman.
Batfleck.
Yeah, Batfleck. There you go. Well, there hasn't been a lot of information coming out until semi-recently. I just totally forgot his name.
Kevin Smith posted a comment that he had seen the bat suit and it actually looked awesome.
I'm really curious to see how that's going to turn out. But
I'd like to see the picture he saw.
But I have an idea of what he possibly saw after reading this tweet from one of the producers who posted, "Can't wait for Batman vs. Superman. Batfleck, semi-retired, not speaking to Robin anymore. Controlling drones from the Batcave."
Oh, yeah, they're Frank Millering it. They are totally Frank Millering it.
That whole controlling drones from the Batcave instantly screams... it
screams Dark Knight Returns.
Dark Knight Returns, but also there was I think it was a semi-alternate universe short story called Kingdom Come, where Batman decided,
Okay,
you know what?
I've heard of it, but I haven't read it.
I've only read bits and pieces of it online, and I really want to get my hands on the full volume of it, for the sole fact that Bruce Wayne hides himself back in Wayne Manor, doesn't come out, but he needs to find a way to still protect Gotham and rule Gotham, basically. So he creates basically a ton of drones that he controls remotely, and they patrol the city.
God, he looks maniacal in that picture.
So I look at that and I'm going, this could be epic.
Yeah, and that's not what I thought when you said drone originally. So, okay,
this definitely already has inklings all over the place of having Frank Miller's touches.
Well, that and mod social commentary much. Because with everybody freaking out about, admittedly these are automatons versus the drones that people are freaking out about, but
but the other bit that's kind of implied in this is if he's not speaking to Robin anymore.
Well, Robin goes off to become Nightwing.
Does that mean we actually get to see Nightwing in this movie?
That would be freaking epic.
That's what I'm hoping for right there.
And who are they going to cast as Nightwing? As long as it's not Leo DiCaprio. Don't get me wrong, I love Leo, but
Neil Patrick Harris. No.
I could almost buy that.
He's voiced the character in a couple, direct-to-DVD movies before, but I don't know if he had. Well, he may have the physique for it, but yeah,
they'd have to work out a bit. But
we'll see. So again, we only have snippets here.
Just having visions of Nightwing hitting on every chick in the room. Did it hurt when you fell from heaven?
Oh, that I can easily see. Nightwing trying to take out all the drones as well. So
only if we get a Harley. But not the Harley from Arkham Asylum. The Harley from Arkham City would be epic.
Okay, I could take that. Yeah.
I don't like the Nurse Harley. I know a lot of people are like, "Oh, she's hot. She's yeah, okay." You got the whole naughty nurse. Really, Bozo meets naughty nurse? I don't think so.
Is it just bad that nowadays when someone tells me naughty nurse, all I can think of is that freaked out Nurse Miku nightmare thing?
Oh God.
The calcine one.
Yeah, I'll pass. Thanks.
There's a naughty nurse for you. I'm okay. I swear.
Really, I'm feeling a lot better. I got better.
This reminds me, Life of Brian and The Meaning of Life have been on IFC recently, like over and
Uh,
over again. I've been watching them nonstop. It's great.
oh my God.
John Cleese. So let me talk to you about sex. No.
Every spoon is sacred.
Let's see, that's 5 tangents already in the first 10 minutes. All right, cool. All right, we're on it.
That's what we do. We're good at it. Let's go back to Star Wars. It's time for this moment in Disney.
So,
moment in Disney's.
Yeah, exactly, because we've been talking about Star Wars.
Your ice cream.
What's up?
And another chance for you to eat your ice cream.
Ice cream that's constantly melting before I get another ice cream headache. We've been talking about episode 7 for a while now. A lot of it is speculation on the very small bits here and there that's been released.
Yeah, it's been like breadcrumbs.
Which I'm sure is intentional as all hell.
Yeah.
Because even Kathleen Kennedy, now executive producer of Lucasfilm, or LucasArts, I should say. Is it LucasArts? Lucasfilm?
It's Lucas. Well, Lucasfilm owns LucasArts.
Okay, Lucasfilm then. Has already came out numerous times and stated they like the idea of essentially keeping people interested by slowly but surely releasing information on a semi-regular basis online. But
and in lifestyle circles, that's called edging. But either way, go on.
Yes, very true. So to go along with that, J.J. Abrams released a new pic on the Bad Robot Twitter page about him in pre-production. And guess who we see?
Yay, R2. Well, you can't really go and alter R2 much. I mean, it's fucking R2.
This is true. At least this confirms that he's going to continue what George Lucas wanted for R2-D2 and C-3PO, is that they are a constant in all of the movies.
Well, yeah. That's the only constant in all of the Star Wars stories as penned by Lucas were the droids.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's always talking. You know, he said all this bullshit in this interview about how, well, it's always been about, Anakin's journey. Bullshit. It's been about the droids.
Exactly.
Because he was saying back in '82 that the only consistent character in all the stories will be the droids.
So it makes me wonder who is going to be piloting said R2-D2.
No, I don't think they're going to necessarily put somebody in. I mean, if Kenny Baker's still alive, they'll keep him in it. But
no.
I suspect that with everybody building the remote ones, there's not going to happen anymore.
In the prequel trilogy, they were remotely operated by oh shoot, I forgot his name. The Mythbuster.
Really?
Yeah, Grant
Adam
Imahara.
Savage?
No, Grant Imahara.
Grant Imahara.
Yeah, he was one of the people who was actually controlling R2-D2 in the prequel trilogy.
By the way, who's playing Sulu in the Star Trek Continuing Voyages alongside Vic Mignogna, who plays Kirk.
I know exactly what you were going to say.
Yeah, I caught myself.
That's funny. Todd Haberkorn's in it as well, so
yeah,
that one should be a little fun to watch.
But anyway, but they had Kenny Baker in some of it because he was in the credits.
True. So that makes me wonder, are they going to continue on with these little snippets here and there? Because they could easily guide us in a completely different direction from where they're going.
I don't know. I mean,
is that J.J. Abrams' style? Is the question.
Yes and no. I mean, personally, I want to see a Dharma logo somewhere in the new Star Wars movie.
You'll probably see that somewhere in the background. I'm sure when they go to a cantina somewhere, there's going to be a slusho.
Or the Rimbaldi artifact somewhere.
Oh, jeez.
Let's go all the way back to Alias, shall we? Jennifer Garner guest spots, you know what I mean?
That'd be funny as hell. All right, well, let's talk about our other Disney plug for the week, shall we?
Ah, yes.
Disney has been pushing a new movie, a live-action adaptation of one of their most famous villains of all time, Maleficent, who is played by Angelina Jolie, which rightfully so. I can't think of anybody else playing that character.
Yeah.
I look at this movie as this is what Disney is promoting until they can get the rights to Wicked and make a movie out of that. Because I mean, you're going to play around that same thing.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, they're going to play it as far as they can.
Yes. So they have a new trailer out. It's interesting. Let's just play and you can make your own opinions about it.
Don't blue ball this one. Okay, was that not very Daft Punkish music?
It's a bit Daft Punk.
Is it Is it temp tracks from Tron? What's going on
It
here?
has to be temp tracks, with a little bit of the brom that you get from
Oh yeah,
Inception.
from Inception.
To which the composer has already came out numerous times and stated that every time he sees his that Brahms used in any trailer, he cringes because he initially designed that for one movie, not to be used as canon for everything on the freaking planet.
Well, there's I saw recently. Tangent hopping. Speaking of music, there was I caught a couple interviews with Danny Elfman recently.
Hmm.
Last year, when they released Dark Shadows,
Mm-hmm.
he did like an hour and a half live interview with somebody talking about it. I'm talking about music in general. And then he did another thing at the beginning of 2013 where they got all the Oscar nominated composers in one room
Mm-hmm.
and interviewed them.
Nice.
If you're a music guy, even if you're not a composer, but if you're a music guy in general and you love movie music in particular, you got to watch this.
Link me this after the show.
Hollywood Reporter. It's like an hour and 10 minutes long. And it's fascinating. They had the composer, they had Danny Elfman, who was there for a couple different movies.
Mm-hmm.
They had the composer of Life of Pi there. They had the Brave composer there.
Nice.
It was basically all the composers that were nominated. And it is fantastic interview. And a lot of insight as to how the brain process of a composer works, specifically composing for movies.
Mm-hmm.
And the hardships and the entanglements that go with it.
And
in one interview, Danny Elfman said flat out, "No, there will never be a Boingo reunion." He refuses.
Damn it. Oh, well. One can still hope. We can go and get him drunk one day. Who never knows. But yeah, so Maleficent, it's essentially a retelling of Sleeping Beauty from the villain's angle. Because, as you know, in the Disney universe, villains are not necessarily evil. They're just misjudged.
Well, every villain, the best villains are the ones who are the heroes of their own storyline.
Mm-hmm.
Some people just want to watch the world burn. Okay, fine. Some people actually believe they're doing the right thing.
Mm-hmm.
Maleficent may have been one of them.
And I'm looking at the cast list, and it's people like Miranda Richardson, Charlotte Copley, Juno Temple. Haven't heard much of these people, but then one stuck out: Peter Capaldi.
Really?
Peter Capaldi is going to be in this movie, so I'm like,
interesting.
How? If he plays some,
is he going to be the voice of the bird?
That would be a really good match, actually. I think that would be amazing.
Yeah, because she's got that bird on her staff.
True. So,
is she going to turn into the dragon in the movie? It'd be her second role as a dragon.
What was the first role?
Beowulf.
Oh, see, I never saw Beowulf, so.
It was she was the best part of it.
Okay.
Everybody else was zombies, but she was good.
I guess that kind of makes sense because I read somewhere that a TV series based on that movie is currently in development surrounding that character.
Surrounding her character?
Her character.
Really?
So.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll see what happens with that. But let's go from movies and Disney to TV shows and comedy. Specifically with Comedy Central.
Yeah, this one surprises me, but it doesn't surprise me after this summer. But go ahead.
True. Well, first off, The Daily Show. Absolutely love it. I DVR it and watch it as much as possible. It's great times. For a while, Jon Stewart over the summer took a leave of absence to direct a movie, and in his place was John Oliver. And
Who did a fantastic job, when he broke the show.
Oh, yeah. He was. I remember that episode. That was mid-show, too.
Yeah, it was mid-show. They lost all power to the studio.
So everybody thought that, okay, cool. He's done a magnificent job with this. So when Jon Stewart's contract ends in 2015, John Oliver will just take over. That's just par for the course. It was going to be Stephen Colbert, but then he left to make his own show on Comedy Central. And it kind of worked because they tied into each other a lot of times. It's not going to be the case anymore with John Oliver. He made the announcement that he is leaving after 7.5 years of being on the Daily Show to create his own news talk show thing, kind of like the Daily Show, but for HBO.
Now, is he going to be replacing Bill Maher?
No,
because that's effectively what Bill Maher is doing.
I think what HBO is going to be doing is putting him either before or
Okay.
after him, and try to draw that Comedy Central crowd over.
Well, I think it's got potential. I mean, are they going to do if they're just doing it once a week? Because if it's HBO, you're not going to get it every night.
No, this is going to be once a week on Sundays. So you don't.
Okay, so he's not going directly against Daily Show,
No, he's not.
which is smart.
Yes. So it makes me wonder how much are they going to try to defer themselves from looking just like a Daily Show clone?
Good question.
Who knows? I mean, I
Will he have a guest spot from Carlos Danger? We need that wow chicka wow music going, you know. Danger.
but I will say, out of all the correspondents for the Daily Show right now, if any one of them had to take over their own show, do their own show, I think John Oliver's the strongest contender for that.
Oh yeah, totally.
So I'm sure
He's
he'll.
also a thriving comedian career to talk.
Good point.
He's also got a good career outside of the show, so he's the most capable.
His stand up is hilarious. I love his stand up. So we will find out how this new show is going to go about. It starts in 2014. He'll probably show up on the Daily Show once or twice before then. So we'll see what happens. But the good news out of Comedy Central is, you may have noticed, I've talked about this a few times on the show, that a new show is right after the Daily Show and the Colbert Report, and that's At Midnight, hosted by Chris Hardwick. I DVR'd the first week that it was on, and I thought, okay, I'll get around to it, I'll check it out, and I decided to watch the week's episodes all in one sitting. Laughed my ass off till I was crying at times.
What's surprising is I didn't, when I heard the premise of this originally, I didn't think it was going to work. I'm like, okay, I love Chris Hardwick. I like Nerdist. I wish it would have gone more, but I'm not surprised. The Nerdist is one of those things that you can't really do a weekly on, which is what he was trying to do for BBC.
Right.
And then I heard about this show, and I'm like, okay, how are you going to build a show premise that's entirely around
Twitter, Reddit,
predominantly
BuzzFeed.
Twitter.
Yeah, predominantly Twitter.
But social media sites, basically. Yeah. And I was wondering, how the hell are you going to pull that off? And much to my pleasant surprise, they did.
Yeah.
It's really damn funny.
There are a few things that they will pull every once in a while that I will laugh my ass off at, but I know that if people aren't on Reddit or know the meme behind the joke, they might not enjoy it as much, but they'll still enjoy it. They're very smart at what they're picking. And not to mention having great guest comedians on every single day.
Yeah, exactly.
It works out really well.
Sort of like Chelsea Lately's Roundtable.
Kind of, yeah. And not to mention, it's Chris Hardwick. He already has that rapport with that demographic.
Oh, yeah, and he comes with a big fan following, too.
So,
let's be honest. That's why we watch it.
This is very true. Yeah, I look at it as an evolution of what Jimmy Fallon started when he took over Late Night, where he started reaching out to that crowd using hashtags and whatnot.
The younger crowd, yeah.
Yeah. And then,
speaking of which, have you heard? Fallon's taking over Tonight Show in March.
I'll believe it when I see it. I'll see him on TBS next June.
No, it's officially announced, and they're kind of downplaying it because of all the crap that happened with Conan. But supposedly it's official finally happening. He's taking it over, and he's not coming to California.
He's keeping it in New York.
From what I understand so far, he's keeping it in New York, and he's going to keep the roots, which is
okay.
Awesome,
that's smart. Keeping the roots is smart. It's
basically going to be Late Night with Jimmy Fallon. Oh wait, it's the Tonight Show. It's going to be the same fucking show.
Yeah,
it's going to move earlier, and I think he can carry it off. Although I personally loved Conan, so
yeah, I enjoy Conan. Jimmy Fallon, he's hit and miss for me. Some of the things he does is great, but it's mostly for the viral video stuff.
Well, that or the fun stuff he does that he gets his guests to do. Did you catch the lip sync contest?
Yes.
Where Jason Gordon-Levitt did freaking Nicki Minaj? That was hilarious.
That was fantastic. I absolutely loved that.
That was incredibly awesome. But I don't see other. Conan gets people to do weird stuff, and so does Craig Ferguson. But Fallon's gets people to do stuff you'd never envision them doing.
This is true.
I mean, come on, Ben Kingsley doing the dramatic looking line.
Good point. Yes.
Sorry,
I mean, hell, even having to be able to do a skit with Obama.
Yeah.
Other talk shows would have him on for a quick interview. Here's what he's doing and whatnot. Fallon went, we're going to have you and we're going to do a skit.
Oh, yeah, he did what was it, the slow jam the news?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. The president's setting you up, y'all. But where we were going back, circle around in our little tangentville down the rat hole, At Midnight has been picked up for...
second season.
Yes!
Another 40-week run starting in January.
Fantastic.
So, I watched all the episodes so far. It's one of those, when you watch it, it's something you really can't like DVR and watch it like a month later.
No, you have to catch it like within the
because it's literally just stuff they pull out of their ass.
I've actually gone digging for some of the tweets to track them. Mm-hmm.
I mean, I was able to acquire tickets to go see one of the episodes. Granted, I wasn't able to go in the end because I didn't have money for gas, but oh well. All I know is that they're all free. You can go to their website, just ask for tickets. You can look it up. And hopefully with the second season, I'll be able to go this time. So we'll see.
Sounds cool.
But massive props to the entire At Midnight crew, especially Chris Hardwick. A lot of people were very excited that this was picked up for another season.
Yeah. Although it kind of makes me worry. I mean, yeah, Jonah's got the whole Bing thing, although that's kind of past.
Yeah.
What are Jonah and Matt doing now? Not that I'm a huge Matt fan, but I like Jonah.
No idea. Give it time, something will pop up eventually.
Sure. Hey, Ross the intern got his own show on E, and it's actually pretty damn funny.
Oh, that's right, he did. That's right.
Yeah, he's got Hello Ross on E, and he had Gwyneth Paltrow on.
Mm-hmm.
And he actually said to her face, they're like best friends apparently. Mm-hmm. He was actually calling her bitch and everything on camera, and she was rolling with it. And I'm like, wow, okay.
Yeah, sounds about right, yeah. But here
moving
we are
forward, back to Disney again, sort of.
Oh yeah, Disney, sort of Disney because it's tied in with ABC. Going to Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Mm-hmm.
It is very interesting to see that last week's episode titled The Hub, a lot of fans called it the pilot that should have been.
And it's the only episode I haven't seen yet, so okay. I have to go watch it on demand. But
and it's quite interesting that you look online, and it's just with this one show in particular, mm-hmm. that even though the viewer numbers are steadily dropping week after week after week, but which is sad, because that's standard for a Whedon show. It always happens that way. This is true.
Everything does this.
It's really sad. It's going to become like another Firefly and another...
No, it better stick around, because it's good.
But even with the numbers dropping, the fan base, I can't tell if it's growing or if it's just becoming louder. Because as it's moving forward, a lot of people's complaints in the first initial episodes was it wasn't S.H.I.E.L.D., it was the Sky Show.
Mm-hmm. And you can tell they listened and toned that down.
It's to a massive degree. I'm very thankful for that. But a lot of people are thinking that now it's gone through, now 7 episodes. They've kind of got the basis down of what they're going to try to work towards in this series. Now they can start expanding a little bit, getting a little more creative with some of the episode ideas. Do you think, Michael, that this is going to be a series that will hopefully get better to a point where it won't have to rely on cliche things like trying to tie in with an upcoming movie or anything like that to regain a viewership?
I don't think so. I mean, supposedly... Wasn't this week? Wasn't the Hub the episode that was supposed to directly deal with the events of Dark World?
That's this week's episode.
Oh, that's this week's episode.
Okay,
then I need to go catch the Hub. But they're going to tie in because, and it's actually, I think, one of its strong points, potential strong points, is that they are keeping it canon with the universe, and they're maintaining these universes together because Hulk's kept tying in, Thor's tying in. I mean. Iron Man's tying in, Avengers is tying in, Winter Soldier's tying in. Mm-hmm. All of the Marvel zone, if you will, they're keeping it consistent, which is a bitch to do.
Yes and
And
no.
I think that's a good thing.
Again, I say yes and no. Yes, because it's great to have that amount of lore and content that you can build up on. You know, if there's a certain thing that happened in a movie or a major event that happened in the comics that you want to elaborate a little bit, you have the possibility of doing that with the TV show. The only There's a couple downsides to this, is the way I look at it. One, it almost requires their fan base to be current on all of, you know, the major stuff going on within Marvel. So, like this week's episode, it's going to have things that directly tie into the ending of Thor 2, which people like me are probably not going to see before I watch that episode. So I may be a little
Well, yeah,
confused.
but okay, yes and no, because what they've done, I mean, they've always alluded to. I mean, even when they allude to the Battle of New York,
Mm-hmm.
if you haven't seen, I mean, yeah, okay, they kind of had to allude to the Battle of New York because of what happened with Coulson,
Right.
but they gave you enough background, enough subtle background that
Mm-hmm.
you can follow. You can basically say, okay, there was some major the Shatar invaded New York. Coulson got injured.
Mm-hmm.
They somehow brought him back. Okay,
Right.
so you can get that without having seen the Avengers. There are going to be little nods and little winks and stuff that if you know it, you're going to get more out of it.
Mm-hmm.
But the episodes still carry on their own. Even when it was the Sky Show, the stuff
Mm-hmm.
sat on its own. I mean, they've already planted the seed for their own first unique villain, and I'm waiting for that to happen.
Yeah, that would be nice. You know, like I said, there was a couple reasons why I'm saying yes and no. The other bit is sense of scale. You have in the movies, you get the grand idea of all the might and power of S.H.I.E.L.D. and the entire universe that it encompasses, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Especially with the upcoming, you know, Captain America movie, Winter Soldier.
Mm-hmm.
You can, for the most part, forgive the lack of the amount of, or the difference in budget between movie and TV show. So you're not going to have the
Mm-hmm.
spectacle that you get from, you know,
I disagree.
from S.H.I.E.L.D. headquarters with the smaller style, with the smaller budget. But when you have that sense of epicness and all the complexity of such a large entity, when you bring it down to a small group like that, it can kind of be lost like in the mud, basically. You only have one very tiny bit of said universe, and when you're trying to tie that to a major event, sometimes it's good, sometimes it fails. That's my concern.
Well, yeah, you have to be careful in how you write it because looking at, like I said, they referred to the invasion of New York and the Battle of New York, and they tied it in fairly well. They've even made references to Iron Man
Mm-hmm.
in the Iron Man movie, and they did it subtly, but enough that you can get. I mean, those who have seen any of the Iron Man movies go, "Oh, haha, they're making fun of Tony Stark."
Right.
But if you write it carefully, the grand difference in budgets, yeah, you're not going to get, they're not going to be sending them to Asgard every week, okay? But you're going to see with a television, you don't need that insane sense of scale because you're focusing on the actions of one group and it's one subset. So you get a behind the scenes action or behind the scenes look, if you will. What I would like to see, and I said this before when they initially talked about bringing up Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and I don't think they ever will, but I wish they would. I want to see him do a TV show of Damage Control.
That could be cool, actually.
That would be epic. I mean, even if it's a movie, a joke movie, animated even, I don't care. Just don't chibi-eyes it like they did the fucking, oh god, crap, it's on DxD. But I mean, I would even like to see it animated because I think it would be a hilarious poking fun at themselves thing.
Mm.
When Spidey gets in a big fight with somebody and just tosses his, hands his card to the guy and goes, "Here, put it on my tab," and walks away while, the construction crew comes in and rebuilds the skyscrapers and,
Right.
That would be epic.
Okay. Well, regardless,
I think, basically, we're going to agree to disagree on
we're
this.
going to agree to
I think if
disagree.
they write it right,
Mhm.
it could be great.
And that's the thing. We're going to agree to disagree on a couple different points of where this could possibly go. Is this going to stop me from watching the series? Hell no.
No.
So
You know what would make it even better?
Hmm.
Although I don't know how well they'd work together.
Hmm.
JMS, bring in J. Michael Straczynski.
Oh.
Ah, I was going to say, don't make me say Babylon 5 because I will.
Okay,
You want
good.
to talk about someone who can masterfully craft arcs over time?
Good point. Very good point. All right. Well, enough talking about Shield. We need to talk about the future.
Oh God, I'm so looking forward to this.
This is a new show that's going to be launching tonight, right?
Tonight at 11
Yep.
on Fox.
It's a 2-night premiere tonight and tomorrow. Surprisingly, like you said, on Fox. So
Yeah, well, Fox has had good shows in the past. Just Fox has a record of. Speaking of good show, oh my God, when we get to what you've been watching, remind me about Fox. Go ahead.
Okay. So there's a new series launching tonight on Fox, like we stated. It takes place in the near future, 2048, and it stars Carl Urban, most recently famous as playing
McCoy.
McCoy in the Star Trek films, as well as Judge Dredd in the Dredd movie.
He was epic in Dredd.
Yes. I found out recently that with Dredd, there was actually a bit in his contract stating that while he is on camera in every single scene of the movie, he is not allowed to take off his helmet. And he was like, I wasn't going to do it in the first place because he's a fan of the comics.
Yeah. No, I heard about that. I heard him say in an interview once. So he's like, we specified that because you never see Dredd's face.
Nope. You don't need to because he's just a badass.
Exactly. He just puts forth that badassery.
But with this new series, Almost Human, Carl Urban plays a police officer who finds himself struggling to settle back into his work after being wounded and had his leg replaced with synthetic parts. So
it sounds a little bit of iRobot too.
Kind of, yeah, especially because his partner is a robot, yeah. So
yeah.
But check out this extended preview trailer for this brand new series.
Have I mentioned how much I love Carl Urban? I think he is one of my favorite actors today. I mean, he is in my top 5. I didn't go so far as to say he's in my top 3 of actors today.
Yeah.
And the guy who's playing Dorian, I've seen him in other stuff, and I've liked him in that too. So I'm really looking forward to this, and I loved Fringe, which was another Abrams property. I mean, I loved Fringe.
Fringe was awesome. Fringe was
epic. I miss it. Although it got kind of weird in season 4, but it's J.J. Abrams. You expect that shit. I'm really looking forward to the show. I am going out of my way to watch it tonight.
Yes, likewise, and I'm sure I'll probably live tweet a few things here and there about my thoughts and feelings about it. That's
what we should do. If you want, we can just be completely obnoxious, and the fans can watch if they want tonight for the thing. Let's fire the stuff up. I'll fire up Skype on my tablet PC, and I'll take it in the living room with me, and we can watch the show with the fans and comment on it.
Sure, why not?
Let's do it.
All right, we'll do that tonight.
We'll do that. 11 o'clock tonight, guys.
I will
come back to the chat room.
I will figure out something how to set that up on this end. So cool. I have a project to do in the next 3 hours. All right.
You can do it. Hey, we wanted to make things interesting.
Yeah, very true. Well, on a quick side note before we get...
It's not true. Fringe was originally in Fox, and Fringe was totally... That's true. Good point, Sega. Episode 1 of View from the Digital Pier. We can finally do our review show as the show's going.
Okay, that works for me.
Excuse me. But Sci-Fi and Fox not mixing, I have to disagree with you on that one, Nightstar, because Sci-Fi had Fringe originally. I think they kept it the whole run, didn't they? Or did it move somewhere else after towards the end? No, it was all Fox.
Yeah,
it was all Fox the time. X-Files was Fox.
But you gotta remember, the executive team that led Fox back in the X-Files days is completely different from what they had now.
Yeah, totally. Oh, we'll hit that on the what you've been watching. Sorry, go ahead.
Good point.
Let's go ahead. Let's jump to 37 because we're running kind of late.
Yeah, we are running a little late. So, to all those people who stayed in line last Thursday night, Friday morning to pick up your PlayStation 4, all 1 million of you.
My God, that's insane.
Congratulations, you now have a piece of hardware that's very cool, and for a lot of you, doesn't work. So, it seems...
Have they given a number of those yet?
Not yet.
So the Xbox 360 had the red ring of death.
Yes.
Windows has the blue screen of death. What does Sony get? Tell them what they've won, Jason.
The blue light of death.
Oh man.
So some people are having this problem where when you boot, it's just the little strips to glow blue, then it glows white apparently, then you get to play. And it goes into the OS itself while it's booting. Apparently, many people are plugging in their consoles. It's pulsing blue, but it won't go beyond that. It won't connect to an HDMI to your TV. It won't sometimes read the hard drive. Now the thing is, though, you would think something like this would be fixed within an update. Well, you can't even get to the update page.
If you can't boot it, you can't update it.
Exactly. What's hilarious is that Sony has come out and stated, here are a couple ideas that hopefully will work to resolve this situation. Things like unplugging it and plugging it back in again.
You'd be surprised how often that works.
Removing and reinserting the hard drive.
Violate your warranty by cracking the case.
No, there's actually a little slot on the side.
Really?
You can actually legally upgrade your...
it's actually user serviceable.
Yes,
Holy
it is.
Schmoly. Okay.
Just like it was on the PS3 on the side.
That's true. That's true.
Now, granted, if you open it up, though, the full thing, you're going to void the warranty like crazy.
Yeah.
So, but... yeah, people who actually entered that Taco Bell contest where you can win a PS4 before the release, many of those people were actually online stating they've had this problem for a while. Sony has yet to actually create a specific clear fix for this. So,
okay. But now let me take that. I asked about what the ratio was. Nightstar in the chat comes back saying that it's about 1 in 250. 1 in 250, that's less than 0.5% of their machines.
Oh, yes.
That are having this issue. It sucks that it happens, but when you're talking a million machines, less than 0.5 of them are broken?
Yeah.
Or 0.5% of them are broken? That's really good.
It is, and it's by no means...
everybody focuses on the bads, but that's really freaking good considering Xbox's ratio on the red rings was something like 3%.
Something like that.
Something like that.
And over the lifetime of the console itself, it actually cost Microsoft over an estimated $1 billion to either repair / replace, though. So
yeah, but the point is, you're right. So yeah, it sucks that it happened, and yeah, Sony, you kind of fucked up. But realistically, and I'm not just saying this as a Sony fanboy, 0.05% or 0.5% is not bad numbers.
No, it is not, especially for the fact, with the million release within 24 hours, they're predicting they're going to sell up to 3 million before the end of the year. Mm-hmm. So they're going to have, a very successful run. It'll be very curious to see how the lines are stack up for the Xbox One, which I have found out that I will be standing in line for one, actually. A family member has requested that I go purchase one for them, and I'm being financially compensated as such. So I will be sitting in line for a midnight.
One for them and one for you?
I wish. But see, the problem with me is that I would get an Xbox One and an X-Bone. Let's use the phrase.
Because you will be X-Bone.
Yes, I would. If I received one, a launch one, I wouldn't buy any games for it. Why? Because I would crack that sucker open and see what I can do with it.
That's what I'm now. That's
because it's an x86 architecture. There's got to be something I can do with this thing.
Speaking of which, thank you for bringing that up because that was something I wanted to ask about. Maybe you might know the answer to this. When the PS3 originally came out, you had the option of throwing an alternate operating system on it. They have since taken that option away.
Yes.
Though, if you are really creative, there's a way you can force it back to an earlier thing to have it do it still, I'm told. Are they giving you the alternate OS option on the PS4?
Not that I've read. Not that I've heard.
Okay.
So, now, granted, like I said, because both the PS4 and the Xbone are x86 architecture, there's the opportunity and the availability of possible mods and exploits out there have to be high.
I'm waiting for someone to throw Linux on the sucker. I really am.
I mean, I remember throwing Yellow Dog Linux on my PS3 when it first came out, but
Wait, Yellow Dog's a Mac Linux.
I had Yellow Dog Linux on my PS3.
Wow.
It,
Okay.
it was good times. And then I got that one update and didn't check the terms of service. And hey, look, Linux was erased. Yeah, I was not happy that day. So, yeah, but I have yet to hear if you can actually install any other OS on the consoles. But like I said, given the fact that it's x86 and it's a hell of a lot easier for all developers to use, I would not be surprised to see something in the very near future.
Cool.
So, before we get to our last bit of what we're watching, I'm sure many of you've read about it. Some of you probably watched the live stream like I did about the Make-A-Wish Foundation.
Oh, yes, this was epic.
Yeah. So, Make-A-Wish Foundation helps kids with terminal illnesses achieve a dream. And
Right.
this one 5-year-old kid who, thankfully now his leukemia is now in remission. That's gotta suck. 5 years old with leukemia? Ugh.
Yeah. Well, and the odds on him surviving it are better
Yeah.
nowadays than they were, as recent as 5 years ago.
Yeah. And so they asked him, what did he want to do? And he wanted to be Batman. So he, Make-A-Wish Foundation, decided to team up with the city of San Francisco to, for one day, turn into Gotham City and have him become the Bat Kid. And he would team up with the Batman and run across, several major locations within the city, defeating enemies like, you have the Riddler, and you even had the Penguin show up for a bit here and there.
Yeah, and the Penguin captured the Giants mascot.
Yes. But the crazy thing is when this came out, the email went out saying, we're looking for volunteers. It kind of went viral. They only expect a few hundred, maybe 1,000 people to show up. 12,000 people responded.
That's right.
They took over the city.
Is Batman driving a Z?
No, that is that's a
Lambo.
That's a
Oh,
Lamborghini.
shit,
That's a Lamborghini
that's a
Aventador.
Gallego.
So
Oh, nice.
there was 2 Batmobile Lambos that he jumped back
Nice.
between forth and whatnot. You would even have like the local news actually printed out a special Bat Kid Save City. He actually printed these out. You can find these online now.
Nice.
The local, actually I found this, that the United States Attorney at one point posted a tweet saying that they were filing charges against the Riddler. and
That's awesome. Wow, this went further than I thought.
Oh,
it did.
they
That's
went
epic.
deep. It
I
was
know, like Obama even threw something out
Obama
there
threw out
congratulating him on saving it.
a Vine on it. I mean, the media was swarming the freaking thing. It even got to the point where you even had comic book artist Graham Nolan create a sketch of him with Bane, and it states, Batman I can handle, but not Bat Kid. I mean, it was amazing. This was
That's awesome.
an incredible experience. I will say that while I was watching the stream and certain scenes of watching Batman and running and Bat Kid like the waddling behind, it got very misty in the room for a moment. I'm not sure why.
Yeah, it hits you in the feels for sure.
Yeah. So that was
For sure. No, I think it's epic because I know like during our days with Expo, we had, every year one or two Make-A-Wish kids come to the show. This puts that to shame.
Oh, it really does. I mean,
it's incredible.
no one's gonna to beat this. To even go through all this and have it end with the press conference and the little kid come out and say, I'm Batman.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it was an experience for everyone involved. So it would have been fun to be part of that, but that's also a 10-hour drive for me. So yeah, wouldn't happen. Anyways, as we wrap up as always, Michael, what have you been watching?
Well, funny you should mention that since we were talking about Fox. You know how Cartoon Network has Adult Swim, and they throw in some weird stuff. And they have some cool stuff like Venture Brothers is my favorite show ever. Well, okay, Tenchi's my favorite show ever, but anyway, they have Animation Domination on
ADHD.
Fox on Saturday night. and I'd never watched it before. Last night, Nikki and I happened to be watching TV, and I turned to Fox for something, and I pop it on. And I'm like, oh, it's Axe Cop. I've never watched Axe Cop before. Let's see what. Oh my god! I thought Adventure Time was on crack. Oh, okay. Adventure Time is on more crack than Axe Cop, but we watched Axe Cop, and wow, that was bizarrely entertaining. And they have a show called High School USA.
Okay.
All the kids are drawn like art in style very reminiscent of the Archie comics.
Mm-hmm.
But this one was a field trip in time where they were supposed to be talking about Operation Desert Storm. They were banned from using their cell phones, and if they didn't use their cell phones for the weekend or any modern electronic devices, they would get an A on the test. Otherwise, they'd be screwed. So like the kids, nobody knows how to do anything. The guy's driving his Prius because he can't find his way anywhere because he doesn't have his GPS. The girls with the cell phones are lying. They're like, how can we do selfies? We need to do selfies to get people's attention. Well, let's make out and do selfies, but we can't use our cell phone. Well, let's use the landline. Does this have a camera? I don't know. It's just, oh my God. And the only guy who knew how they're getting chased by this killer guy, like a la Scream.
Mm-hmm.
And is like, how do we tell the police? I don't know. Let's go. Blackstein knows. Let's go ask him. So the African-American character is half African-American, half Jewish. And he's literally called Blackstein. And of course, he's the robo-nerd, and he's the only one who knows how to call the police on a landline. So they all manage to find their way to his house, and the only reason they know how to get to his house with a GPS is because the jock beats him up all the time. Okay, how do I call the cops? 99111. What next? That's it. Oh my God, it's ringing! My brain broke. I was laughing so hard, my brain broke. It's oh my God, it was hilarious.
Nice, very cool.
Oh, and Flute Cop on Shadar keeps talking about Blacklist. Yeah, I watched Blacklist too. She's right.
Still need to watch it. I now have a DVR.
Haven't watched it.
I now have a DVR, but I tried to go back and try to watch the first episode, but it's not available right now. So I have to. I'm DVRing the new shows while waiting for the first show to pop up on.
Need to go watch that show.
But funny that you should mention Adventure Time.
Oh God!
Because yesterday I finished watching. I caught up on all the anime I was watching. Even watched a new series that I didn't start yet.
I need to see Kill la Kill.
Yes, you do. Dear sweet Jesus, you do.
Okay.
But I was bored. And I'm like, let's see. It's just channel surfing. Adventure Time. Let's give us another shot. And yes, I was sober. I was surprised that I was going to watch this sober.
I remember your reaction when we found it on here last time you were up here. And we just we're like, what the hell?
And I end up watching 5 episodes straight.
Oh my God.
Like, it started to make a very strange sort of sense after a while.
And you were sober?
Yes, I was sober.
Oh my God.
So take that as you will. But now I watch Adventure Time.
Okay. Fair enough.
I mean, if I could watch some of the crazy, ridiculous shit in anime.
That's true.
This is true.
If I can watch weirder shit in anime. Yeah. Though I have to admit, Axe Cop was surprisingly entertaining.
Well, considering it was started by a 5-year-old, Yeah,
Nikki kept pointing that out. She's like, oh my God. He flies around on a giant T-Rex with rocket launchers attached. That's clearly a 5-year-old's doing.
And it works.
And it works. It works really well. Will you let us go, Axe Cop? No, I'm just going to kill you. Okay. What?
Yeah. So yeah, Adventure Time is a thing now. The anime series that I'm starting to watch that it was a fall series. It just recently started. There's like 7 episodes out. Gingitsune, dealing with a shrine maiden who actually can interact and talk with a fox god, a fox deity.
And considering Kitsune are known for trickery,
which happens a lot, it's actually been quite entertaining. I didn't check it out at first because I was watching like 16 other series and it looked very childish. I went, yeah, I'll skip on it. But after as it usually happens around this time of every season, I'm caught up on everything. I'm bored. I want to watch anime. I didn't watch this series. Let's watch an episode. Wow, why did I not watch this series before?
I heard a rumor, and you can tell me if this is true or not, because this is more your area of mine.
Eh?
I heard a rumor that they're going to do either a second season of Robotics Notes, or there's something else taking place in its genre or in its universe.
I've heard rumors of something continuing on with that genre.
Okay. What about the rumors of a second season of oh god, what was that cop show?
Cop show.
The anti-moe show.
Psychopaths.
Psychopaths.
Yes, not, and we've talked about this before. They mentioned this during their panel at AX. They had the founder of a production IG up there and talking, and he kind of let go of like, I was not going to say this, but we're already talking about it, so why not? Yes, we are in pre-production for not only a second season of Psychopaths, but also a movie.
Cool.
So, yes. So you can look forward to that, and I have a bunch of other stuff to talk about on Anime Break this week. It was cool last week having my friend Justin on, aka Voca P. He's a Vocaloid artist. He was on the show last week, and we'll probably have him on several more times. He was actually a lot of fun to have on. So he's done some great work too. And we talked a little bit about Miku Miku Dance, how to use it, how to create your own characters, how to create the movements.
How do you export from MMD to Source Filmmaker? That's what I want.
We must look into this.
Yes, we must.
All right. Well, I think that's going to be it for this episode. Did we miss anything else, Michael? Or
not that I can think of.
It was a lot of fun. We covered a lot of stuff and good conversation all around. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Obviously, you stuck around, so we were somewhat entertaining. So thank you.
Indeed.
Stay tuned for post show, and
your voice is starting to go robotic, so it's probably going to be a short post show.
Gotcha. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for watching From Mother's Basement, and From Mother's Basement, I'm Jason.
And I am Michael.
And we'll see you guys next week. Take it easy, everybody.